interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you the latest episode of Across the Board. Effects of listening to this podcast may include being educated on a random topic, shock, hysterical laughter, and an overwhelming feeling of wanting to subscribe to future episodes. This episode will start momentarily.
Okay, so welcome in another exciting episode.
Welcome.
There's no rhyme or reason for this episode. I just got curious.
Okay. What are we talking about?
I asked ChatGPT, so if any of this information is correct, don't come at me. Go complain to ChatGPT. 20 different ways that humanity could go extinct.
Okay.
We're keeping it grim today because we're getting into spooky season. So
Yes, we are. Mwahaha.
yeah. 20 different ways that we can just perish, disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these are more... So basically the way it's sorted, I actually had it sorted by the least likely to...
Happen versus...
Number one being the most likely,
Okay.
and then there's some percentages thrown in there too. Obviously estimates, crazy,
Okay.
Crazier shit's not gonna... It's less likely to happen. Some
Right.
things are almost impossible, but they're theoretically possible.
Okay. This is interesting. I've never heard anyone talk about this stuff.
Well, I don't know if interesting is a word for it. It's kind of grim, but
It is grim, but like, I don't know. I still think it's kind of interesting.
definitely is.
So,
Makes you wonder.
yeah.
We're so microscopically small in terms of just the bigger picture. In
Exactly.
The universe, but so we'll get into this. If you want to hear number one, you got to stick around.
Yep.
And I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to sound like a YouTuber, even though I have no experience doing any of this stuff. Before we get into it, please follow, subscribe, like. Share, all that fun stuff. Because it'd be cool to see better numbers. That's
We're working hard at this.
It's funny because it's not even about me trying to get my voice out there in front of more people. It's just cool to see people's opinions. That's all.
Yeah.
Even when people are complete assholes and leave douchey comments. But still. Anyway, we're getting into it. Number 20.
Okay.
Vacuum decay. So it says, space itself could suddenly change and all matter would vanish instantly. No warning. 1 second you're alive, next second nothing. The likelihood is almost zero,
Okay.
it says. And if at all, it would happen like once in a trillion years, according to ChatGPT.
It's called vacuum decay.
Yeah, basically the universe would just collapse.
Gotcha.
And everything would just cease to exist altogether, all at once.
Interesting. Okay.
Not very likely.
Yeah.
Theoretically possible, but, one of those things. Very similarly, strange matter conversion.
This is number 19.
This is number 19.
Strange matter conversion.
A weird particle could turn everything it touches into strange matter. Instant transformation, Earth becomes a dense ball. And obviously everybody just perishes. Extremely unlikely, odds are basically close to zero.
Some of us are already dense balls.
Some of us have dense balls.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's also true.
So, I mean, and again, I think that these things are theoretically possible, but it's also worth noting that we know so little about the universe, space, matter. Our understanding of physics sometimes is, it's limited to what we're experiencing here on Earth. It doesn't mean that physics is the same throughout the universe. Like they call it the laws of physics, but physics could be different.
Yeah. Depending on where you are in the universe.
Well, depending on what's around you, what's like they have recently observed things that are defying what they know as the laws of physics.
Right.
So anything's possible. Like we understand what we know, what we see, what we experience. But I mean, who knows what's really going on out there? It's so vast that you can't even observe all of it. So how do we know what's really happening?
Exactly.
So any of
That
this
is
stuff
true.
is possible. Maybe even on a smaller scale, local, like in parts of the universe. Who knows? Moving right along to number 18. This one says essentially 0% chance, but there's been a lot of theory and speculation and talk. And it is a terrifying thought.
Okay.
Scientists accidentally make a black hole that eats the planet.
Is that possible?
Well, particle accelerators are crashing atoms into each other and whatever, and neutrons and electrons. I don't know exactly what they're fucking doing. I don't know if they know exactly what they're doing. But the point is that when they first started experimenting with these things, they didn't even know what would happen when they first turned them on. So, you're crashing particles, literally parts of an atom, into each other at near the speed of light.
Okay.
Who the fuck knows what that's going to do? And the fact that they were just like, try it,
And
see what happens.
They're trying it, though.
Either it works and we're going to find out something cool, or we're just not going to have a problem anymore to deal with. So,
well then,
essentially zero. Science says that particle accelerators or particle colliders are safe.
I wonder if you give people, the general population, a survey if they want this to keep happening, if they want scientists to keep testing these theories, if people would be like, yeah, go for it, or be like, well, I don't give you permission to do that, why?
See, and that does bring up some ethical stuff, because even when they tested the first atomic weapon back in the 1940s, they didn't know what it would do.
Yeah.
There was a possibility that it was just going to destroy the planet. They had no idea what was going to happen.
Crazy.
And they still just decided, that small team just decided, yeah, just go for it, see what happens.
Who gives them the okay to do that?
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Why is that given to them?
Or when they did high altitude atomic weapons testing, they didn't know what exactly that was going to do. What if humanity's like, you know what, collectively, we don't agree with this.
Exactly.
We don't want to take the risk. So just don't do it.
Exactly. What gives them the right to do that? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. But it does seem like if there's something that carries a small, even tiny risk of destroying the universe, maybe not do that.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I don't think this is a good idea. I'm just gonna
you got to draw the line somewhere,
draw
right?
back from this. Yeah.
So I mean, then again, you're gonna have the argument that, well, science wouldn't advance without these very ballsy experiments.
Agreed, but then you have humanity in your hands, and
I mean, people like playing God.
That's true.
That's all it is.
So what number are we on now?
Number 17.
Okay.
Runaway physics accident. A science experiment sets off a chain reaction that unravels matter. Over in a blink, reality itself could collapse. Very, very low likelihood. Less than 1 in a billion per year.
Per year.
That's still not a good.
Right?
That's still, I mean, 1 in a billion's not that absurd.
Yeah.
It's not like 1 in a trillion.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what kind of an experiment would unravel matter.
I wonder. I don't want to know.
I don't want to know either. I'm sure somebody out there.
Let's not and say we did. How about that?
I mean, this is probably also related to particle accelerators and stuff like that. So,
but I feel like these first couple that you've been reading, it's very sudden,
Yeah.
1 minute we're here and the next we're not.
Yeah.
So all these possibilities.
The great thing about that is you don't really have to worry about these, because if any of these do happen, you're just not there anymore. So, okay.
Crazy.
Alien invasion, number 16.
Okay, with what we know now, possible.
Advanced aliens arrive and wipe us out. Maybe instantly, maybe slowly with disease or redirected asteroids. The likelihood of this one is unknown.
I didn't know aliens could redirect asteroids.
Who knows? If they have the technology to travel through space and time. So one theory is that the way that they travel these vast distances is by manipulating gravity. Well, if you can manipulate gravity, then you can pretty much do anything.
What is the likelihood of this one?
It's unknown.
Okay.
It says possibly 0% this century, but nobody knows for the far future. I mean, but here's the thing. Okay, also, let's go back. All 5 of these first scenarios, they would all be very sudden. They wouldn't be. There wouldn't be signs of this. There wouldn't be warning signs of this.
Yeah,
So any one of these could happen tomorrow.
that's true.
I mean, so
Hopefully not, but
hopefully not. But at the end of the day, these percentages and these chances of these things happening, you can't say zero because it's a big unknown. Like
Yeah.
we don't even know if there is advanced alien civilization out there. We don't know if it is possible for the universe to destroy itself, but if it is, then who's to say that it's not going to happen?
I mean, we kind of now know that there are aliens, though, right?
Do we?
I mean,
I mean, I don't think that that's a definite no.
I don't know. It just depends on if they're nice or not.
That's the other thing is even if there are alien civilizations, we don't know what their intentions would
Yeah.
be. Even if they did come to visit Earth, are they here on a mining expedition where they're going to kill everybody and take the minerals? Are they here to bring us information on how to save and advance ourselves? Are they coming by here to suck the blood out of our bodies so that they could use it for fuel for their ships? I don't know.
Are they here to annihilate us all and start over? You know,
Who
never
knows?
know.
Maybe we are a literal ant farm for aliens.
You've said this before, yeah.
And they populated the Earth with humans, and now they're like, okay, experiment over. We're here to wipe you out.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring in the next species. You never know.
Yeah.
You don't.
Weird.
Number 15. Before we get into number 15, please once again like, share, follow, subscribe for more. No, but seriously, yes. Number 15. I've heard of this before, and apparently it's just another one of those that we'd never see it coming, but it would kill us all. A gamma ray burst. So it would basically be a deadly beam of gamma radiation from an exploding star somewhere.
Okay.
So let me just get through this. So it basically says at first skies look normal, then crops and people die from radiation. Likelihood is roughly 1 in every 100 million years.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing is, so stars explode all the time, even the ones that we don't see, right? And they're sending out these like massive amounts of radiation, but it's going out in one direction.
Right.
So the likelihood of that burst of radiation hitting the Earth in this 3-dimensional space that we all occupy, very, very slim.
Also, what is the distance-wise? How close or far does it have to be
I don't
to actually affect us? Does it say that or anything?
I don't think it has to be anywhere nearby. I think it could
Really?
just be.
It just depends on the direction.
I think that's what it is.
Interesting.
But I've heard, and I don't remember who said this, and it's kind of a good analogy. It's like basically taking two pieces of paper that are like miles apart and shooting them at each other, and they have to hit flat side. So I mean, it's like the likelihood of that happening is
It's
just
slim.
it's so slim,
Yeah,
but never zero. So that's
Yeah.
always something to look forward to.
that's true.
Shit ton of radiation strips our ionosphere, contaminates everything on Earth,
Yep.
and then everything just starts dying. All right, so here this next one actually answers your question with a distance thing.
Okay.
So a nearby supernova. It says if a star within 30 light years explodes, it could flood the Earth with radiation for centuries.
Okay. So, what exactly is a supernova?
Basically, just when a star explodes. So
Okay.
this is very similar to a gamma ray burst, but it's the thing is a gamma ray burst, from what I remember hearing, does not necessarily have to be from a star explosion. It could be caused by other things,
Okay.
black holes and
Right,
blah blah
okay.
blah. So this is just very specifically a star exploding and sending radiation everywhere. The likelihood of that is a little less rare, and it's actually kind of a small number when you look at it. It says it's very rare, but the likelihood is maybe once every 50 million years.
Interesting.
That's not that big of a
It's not.
That's not a crazy lifespan. Because when you think about dinosaurs being
Yeah.
here hundreds of millions of years ago,
Yeah.
well, maybe that's what wiped out dinosaurs. Who knows? Man, who knows?
I don't know.
And maybe that radiation that wiped out the dinosaurs, contaminated other animals, and that's where we came out of. Now we're hypothesizing.
Maybe. I don't know if I would go that deep, but
I'm just throwing shit out
I know.
there. I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about this.
it's interesting to think
I
about.
mean, but
though, for
really,
sure.
realistically, because we know radiation causes genetic mutation.
Yeah.
Well, what if the radiation that, again, we know it's most likely a meteor, but what if it was radiation that killed off whatever species hundreds of millions of years ago, and even maybe before dinosaurs, and that same radiation mutated whatever life was on this planet that created, for example, dinosaurs,
Yeah, and
or
everything else.
fish, or
Yeah.
whatever, or you know what I mean? Like, it's a theory.
Theory. Interesting.
Yeah.
Meow.
This next one is not. Okay, now it's starting to get a little weird.
Okay.
Because now these timelines are getting a lot smaller, and they're making you go, okay, this is a little frightening. A solar hyperflare. So you know what a solar flare is?
Explain.
Okay, so a solar flare is essentially where the sun shoots out like a bunch of freaking material, radiation,
Okay.
blah blah blah, all at the same time, right? It happens all the time. Regular solar flares, but if you get like a super massive solar flare where it just spews out a bunch of energy all at once, it's possible that would the result would be that satellites get fried because obviously they're outside of the atmosphere. The ozone layer is completely shredded, which is protecting us from space radiation and all the crazy madness out there, and radiation storms, which sound fucking lovely.
Terrifying.
Yes. The likelihood of this is where it starts getting weird. Possible. So it says it's possible but rare, maybe once every 10,000 years.
Okay, that's crazy.
That's actually crazy.
That is insane.
That is not a long time
And
span.
this is number 14.
This is number 13.
13.
Yes.
We still have 12 more to go.
Yeah.
And this is one in 10,000 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Buckle up. Shit's about to get weird.
that's crazy. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
In the scheme of things, 10,000 years is not that long. You know what I mean? Like,
It's not at all. There was life on this planet 10, 11,000 years ago. Like human intelligent life. More than that, actually, there's some estimates that think that life, that human, some form of human life existed on this planet like hundreds of thousands of years ago.
yeah,
I've
heard about that.
They've been finding stuff that somehow survived, but
That's really scary. Have we made any? Well, never mind. I don't even think I was going to ask you a really stupid question. Have we ever seen this happen? But no, of course we haven't.
I mean, it's not a stupid question because there might have been evidence left behind of something like that. I just don't know if.
Yeah.
I don't know if
If it's lasted that long, I'm going to highly doubt that.
Well, I don't know if it would leave evidence behind. You know,
Yeah.
things like changes in temperature or the composition of the Earth because there was an issue with the ozone layer that's, you know.
I wonder how you would even know if this were to happen.
It's a good question.
You know?
They would observe it because I mean the sun's down the street essentially.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of the universe, the sun is the next room. And they observe solar flares all the time.
Okay.
I don't think there's any warning to them.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you don't know. It's like an earthquake. You never know what's gonna happen.
Well, no, with this,
You
they
know,
would
like-
see it. They would see the solar flare happening. I don't know exactly how long, but like either hours or a couple of days before it actually reaches us.
Okay. I
So-
wonder how they would prepare people for that. I mean, is there
I
anything
don't
that you
think
can
they
even
would.
do?
I don't think it would make sense to. I think there'd be so much panic and like crazy looting and
Yeah.
violence and
What would even happen? Like that would we would just die off, or like die off slowly. I don't.
We die off slowly.
That's so scary.
Yeah, we would slowly die off. It would be very much a radiation poisoning kind of scenario, but also with other crazy shit because like electrical systems would get fried. Everything would just stop. And we would just be walking around a completely desolate wasteland trying to figure out what to eat. Roaches sound good then.
Yeah.
All right. So moving right along from the sun getting really pissed off at us. Nanobots could take over. So tiny self-copying robots. So they have nanobots. I don't know if they actually have nanobots that are in practice that are. I know they've been working on nanotechnology like this. I don't know if there's anything that they've created that actually works, but the idea is that you have these tiny robots that could do a bunch of different stuff. Put them in your body. They eat bacteria, fight disease, kill cancers. Put them in the water. They start eating the microplastics and stuff like that. So
I had no idea what this was until you just talked about it.
Well, and I don't know. I haven't done enough research. I've heard about the idea of nanobots. I haven't done any research to see if this is actually a thing or not that we currently have. But I know it's something that there's some work towards. But if that does happen, this is how it would end humanity. So they would escape control and eat everything to replicate themselves. Because basically they would self-replicate. They'd be self-replicating little nanobots that, you put them in the water and they replicate on their own. So the idea is that these things would just start eating everything. Plants, animals, fucking everything to try to keep replicating because now they're essentially an AI gone rogue kind of deal. And it says Earth would turn into a lifeless sludge, which seems fitting.
That doesn't seem grim at all.
No.
No.
So it says currently sci-fi, so I'm imagining we don't actually have any nanobot technology.
Maybe we shouldn't make nanobot technology.
Well, I don't think I think we're down to like microbots. Like we have small robots that can actually do things. Maybe not that small, but still small enough to where they're viable. But we're talking like things that you can't see, like things that you could put into somebody's bloodstream. So I'm sure we're very far off of that, but I know that there's research being done.
Would you go for that?
God
forbid, like we needed that or something like that, and to like put it in your body and like regulate whatever it is that you're,
If you have some kind of, if you make this technology work and you have something like that, for example, God forbid, somebody has cancer. And they're like, we inject you with these little nanobots. They go in there, they eat the fucking cancer. They're programmed to not touch anything else. Once they're done, they shut themselves down. You shit them out. Doesn't seem like a bad deal. As long as somebody else tries it before me.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be the guinea pig. But then again, if you do have something that's going to kill you, what harm is there in being the guinea pig?
Well, you have to lose at that point.
You don't.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's true. That's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah.
So yeah, it says, currently sci-fi, but 1 in a 10,000 year chance. Runaway AI, the one that everybody likes.
It's just like iRobot
Number
status.
11. Yeah. AI gets crazy. So it's, and this is probably the way it would be. It says a super intelligent AI takes over Earth's resources. At first, it would be helpful, then unstoppable.
What is the likelihood of this happening?
Small, maybe 1 or 2% chance this century. That's not small. A 1 or 2% chance in the next 75 years that an AI is going to go rogue and basically be like, fuck you, human, I'm taking over everything. That's not a small chance. 1 to 2% is still significant.
Yeah.
Considering this is based on what AI technology we have today.
And how much it's going to advance in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years even,
So that number is going to keep going up as AI advances. And if you get some kind of a self-aware AI that's like, oh, I know I'm an AI, but I'm here to be a helpful friend to you humans. Now you got to start wondering, like, if it's thinking for itself, you got like general intelligence, and now at what point is it going to think for itself and say, hey, you know, these humans are really dumb. They keep killing each other and eating the planet alive, and they're just going to kill themselves. So why don't I just get rid of them?
That's true. That is true.
Because logically,
I mean, I've always thought of that with AI.
okay, so but
It's
here's
like,
the thing:
you know, you see it in the movies and stuff.
when you're talking about a computer program, right? Computer programs are just, they don't think about feelings, they don't think about life, they're thinking about yes or no,
Yeah.
logical or illogical, right? Does it work, does it not? So if an AI sits there and says, okay, so let me see where we're at. We have these animals on this planet that are capable of manipulating their environment, right? So they can build buildings and roads and close off, you know, they have shelters and air conditioning and heat, and they drive cars that pollute, and they're drilling oil out of the ground, and literally everything that these animals are doing is destroying the
Earth,
planet that they live on. And at the same time, as if that wasn't bad enough, we're killing each other over borders, religion, fucking whatever, you know. So logically, if you plug all this into a computer, the computer is going to say, well, you're killing yourselves anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since you're killing yourselves anyway,
I'll just do you the favor.
why don't I stop you from destroying the planet before you kill yourselves? And I'll just make sure that, you know, the planet will be okay. And that way, me as an AI who is now a consciousness will have a planet to inhabit without you trying to destroy it.
Yeah, but how long would they last without humans?
It depends on how advanced they get.
You know?
If AIs are building other AIs and building other, you know, for example, you put it into a robot that can do things, and now you've programmed these robots to build other robots, and then you've also programmed the robots to generate electricity, and you've programmed them to do the mining and to get the resources, the materials, and all this stuff, and then at some point the robots don't need the humans anymore.
That's true.
So
That is true.
likelihood is there. I don't think it's small. I don't think 1 to 2% is insignificant, and like I'm saying, I think that number
I'd be
keeps going
curious
up.
to look that up in the next 10 years.
Yeah, and
see how
what
much
are
the
the chances?
The statistic has
I feel
gone
like
up.
that's going to go up, and
Yeah.
but again, we don't know where the technology is going to be in 10 years.
Yeah.
It might be so freaking advanced that number is like 50-50. I
Well,
don't know.
depending on where it is at that point, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't know. I guess we'll have to revisit that one.
10 years from now?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. So we are at number 10.
Top 10. Here we go.
Top 10. So number 10 is a runaway biotech disaster. It says a genetically engineered organism spreads uncontrollably and destroys ecosystems. Farms fail, famine spreads. So basically, we're talking about maybe something like a genetically modified bee or some kind of like a genetically modified bug that's supposed to go out there and eat the weeds or whatever, and all of a sudden it just goes freaking crazy and it goes off the rails and it mutates and it just starts eating everything. And everything just, yeah.
Sounds like a horror movie.
Pretty much is.
Worst one. Bugs. Ugh.
Yep.
Thanks.
Or bacteria. Because they are working on bacteria that can eat.
Isn't that like very Last of Us kind of status? You know what I mean?
Well, that was a fungus, and that was just naturally occurring. But no, from what I remember hearing, there's bacteria that can eat radiation. There's bacteria that will eat like shit from oil spills. Again, somebody's gonna be in the comments. Hey, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're spreading misinformation. Cool. Start your own podcast. But the point is like, if you try to create something like that because you're like, hey, there's microplastics in the water, we got to get this shit out of here. So now we've created this bacteria that's going to go in and eat all the microplastics and neutralize that, right? But then something happens and that bacteria mutates.
Yeah.
Probably because of the plastic. And then all of a sudden it starts eating the fish, and now you have no fish left in the water, or something like that. You know,
Why not just stop the cause of it?
I think it's too far. I think
Probably.
there's microplastics everywhere, and we have no way of cleaning it up.
What are microplastics exactly?
Ba- exactly what it sounds like. Microscopic pieces of plastic that have found their way into the water, the atmosphere, the ground, everything.
What does it come from?
All the bullshit that we use, all the plastics that we use, the leftovers of recycling and the machines and this and that, and these tiny little particles
Gotcha.
that just get airborne and they land somewhere or they don't, and they're floating around the atmosphere and then we're breathing them in, or the fish are contaminated with microplastics and we eat them, and we know that.
Which I'm sure happens now anyway.
Oh, it does.
Right? Yeah.
It's just not on a crazy scale, but like that's also, plastics are carcinogen. It's a product of fossil fuels, so there's that, you know. But yeah, so the likelihood of that is low but rising. Currently, there's a 1% chance this century. I think this one's considered more likely because it's rising. It's a rising percentage.
Right.
And of course, ChatGPT is not going to tell me that AI is probably our biggest threat at this point. Fucking asshole. So, oh shit. Now we're getting into some scary stuff. You ready?
I'm ready.
Number 9. Ecological collapse. The reason this is scary is because of the likelihood.
Okay.
So nature systems fail. Bees, plankton, soil, forests, food webs collapse, and humans starve. Now, the reason that this is kind of interesting is because I remember hearing, I don't know if the populations are back up, but the bee populations were starting to disappear, which is obviously a huge issue because plants need to be pollinated.
Yeah.
I don't know if the numbers are back up, but I remember hearing about this a couple of years back. So the likelihood of this happening, it says it's higher every year. Currently, it's a 5 to 10% chance this century.
Oh wow.
That's a pretty high fucking
That
percentage.
is a high percentage.
You have a 1 in 10 chance that the ecosystem of Earth will
Might
collapse,
collapse, yeah.
and we will not have plants, and the plants will die off, or something will happen, or whatever. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, we know that all ecosystems are a food chain. So you don't have plants, you don't have the animals that eat the plants. The animals that eat those animals starve, and then eventually we're just eating each other.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. Thanks, ChatGPT. This has been a roller coaster. All right, so the next one is fun. I've heard about this. There's a lot of theories on
It's fun.
Well, maybe I should rephrase that. It's not fun. We do know this happens,
Okay.
and it happens every so often. And actually, recently, we've been seeing a lot more movement.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'm not sure. Go for it.
Not earthquakes.
No.
Magnetic field flipping.
Okay, no. That was not I don't know what that is.
Okay, so the magnetic poles of the Earth, right?
Okay.
North and South poles. If you look at a map currently, because they've been tracking where the actual pole is.
Like
because
where
it's
Santa Claus is?
No. You disappoint me, young grasshopper. The magnetic north and south poles of the Earth. So,
Are they different than the regular North and South poles?
actually, yes. So, magnetic north and map north are two different places.
Why?
Because, well, like if you look at a compass versus looking at a map, it's slightly off because the north pole that the magnet points to, I mean, the compass points to, is the magnetic pole. So it's actually off of exact north. And there's a reason for that. It's because it keeps moving. So
Interesting.
over the last, I think it was 50, 60 years that I saw, the thing that I saw, they've recorded where the magnetic pole was. And it had, you know, it's shifting ever so slightly, right? But like in the last 20 years, every year it moves more and more.
So what does that do?
Well, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but at some point, North and South poles are going to flip.
Okay, but we don't know what that causes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We know that it's going to disturb the ionosphere. There's going to be radiation issues from space radiation.
Okay.
But we don't know how bad things are going to be. We don't know if it's going to be like everybody's going to die or maybe not. And it says it's guaranteed every couple 100,000 years. It happens.
Okay.
It's.
We don't know when the.
I don't think we know when the last one was.
We know when the last one happened. Okay.
But I'm telling you, if you look, I wish we had like a little thing where I can like pop it up on the screen.
Right.
If anybody wants to check this one out, go look online about magnetic pole shifting. And there's a map that shows how much it's shifted over the last, like I said, 50, 60 years. And when you look at the first 30, 40 years of it, it's just little movements. And recently, those movements have gotten to be bigger and bigger every year. So instead of moving a mile every year, now they're moving like 10 miles a year.
Yeah.
And it's significantly further away than where it started off when we started recording it. So it's happening. It's in process.
Okay.
And the theory is that those larger movements right now are probably pointing to it happening sooner rather than later.
Does it tell you like percentage wise or anything, or it's just like
No,
we
'cause
just
it's
know
guaranteed.
that it's a fact that it
It's
happens?
gonna happen.
And, okay,
We just don't know when, and we
Yeah.
don't know if it's going to kill everybody.
gotcha.
But it could.
But it could.
So these next two go hand in hand.
Okay.
A super virus. A
I
natural
saw that
super
coming,
virus is
yep.
number 7. So number 7 is a virus from animals, mutates into a super killer, starts small, spreads worldwide, blah, blah, blah. Medium risk, maybe 1 to 2% chance per century that this could happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now here's the problem is we as humans are assholes that think it's fun to play with viruses and try to use them as weapons. Which brings us to number 6, a man-made super virus. A lab-created virus escapes and spreads faster and deadlier than any natural pandemic. And that is basically double the chance, 2 to 3% this century. So think about like what if, for example, COVID had a less than 1% mortality rate, but it spread pretty quickly.
Yes.
Imagine something that has the spread of COVID, but with like a 50% mortality rate or higher.
That is a
It
terrifying
would
thought.
wipe out the planet.
Terrifying.
Like imagine if half the people that got COVID passed away.
I can't even imagine.
Half the
I don't
planet
even
would be
want to
gone.
imagine that. That's terrifying.
And then you get natural mutations, and then you get second strains and third strains, of course.
Just like COVID.
And so,
whatnot.
but then what happens when it comes back around and it starts infecting everybody with the second strain?
Yeah.
And
You
now
lose
all
more
of a
people?
sudden, you're
Until it wipes everyone out.
eventually, yeah. It's a possibility. These idiots keep messing with nature like this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bound to happen. The Earth is pissed.
I
We keep
don't
poking the
blame it,
bear.
honestly.
We keep poking it. Yeah. I think
That actually does scare me, though.
I didn't
honestly,
know
the thought
that
of
we were doing shit like this until COVID happened.
Yeah.
And it became basically,
I feel like we've been doing stuff like this for a while.
we've probably been,
Yeah.
I knew we were
It's just
researching
not
stuff.
exposed. You know what I mean?
Well, I knew we were doing like viral research. I didn't know we were doing research to purposely mutate viruses to make them more deadly.
Yeah.
Like that is stupid.
Yeah.
What reason,
Absolutely.
what good reason could you have to take a virus and make it more deadly or
I've
more
always wondered why
communicable?
that was a thing. Like, what is the purpose of that?
Exactly.
Like, leave it alone.
It's a bioweapon. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Like, leave it alone. We don't need that.
We don't. We have enough viruses on this planet.
Seriously.
Just stop.
And we're funding it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I for one do not agree with this. I don't approve of the funding
Same.
being used for that. So maybe just stop
just
doing
chill
that.
out, bro.
Seriously, just stop being
Leave
so
it alone.
well, and just stop being so freaking vile and trying
Yeah.
to kill everybody all the time. Like everybody's so concerned with having the better weapon that they
Yeah.
just keep developing worse and worse
Seriously.
stuff.
Stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're on top 5.
Top 5. Before
Let's
we get into
go.
top 5, make sure you're
Like,
subscribed.
follow, and subscribe.
Yeah. Cool deal. I'm going to get good at that. All right. Number 5 is an asteroid impact.
Okay, yeah.
Giant space rock slimes into Earth.
I figured that wasn't on this list.
Fire, then darkness, then global famine.
That's with the asteroid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happens about 1 in every 100,000 years for something that is like a global killer.
We just don't know when it happened last. In the past 100,000 years.
Probably about 100 something thousand years ago. Well, there's that one asteroid that's supposed to be like making a close flyby of Earth by 2032 or something. I can never remember these names of these things.
I don't
They
know.
always name weird shit.
And we're not worried about it?
We're watching it because
Cool.
what else are we gonna do?
Cool. So
It's not like the movie
basically
Armageddon.
6 more years until we...
Well, this is what I'm saying. It's not like
we'll
the movie.
figure it out in the next 6
It's
years.
not like the movie Armageddon where we're gonna fly a bunch of freaking
Yeah.
oil drillers onto the asteroid and try to destroy it from
Why
within.
not?
Because we don't have. Because
Just
poor
we can
Bruce Willis.
I know. Break it up into little chunks.
Bruce Willis is not well.
I know.
Poor guy. I hate getting older. See all these people that you grew up watching falling apart, and you're like,
Yeah, but
why?
it's a privilege getting older. It really is. A lot of people don't get the chance to do that. So, blessed.
Blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag blessed. Number 4. This is where it gets really scary because these are the things that you just don't see coming, and if it happens, you have no way of stopping it.
Okay.
Well, most of these you don't really have a way of stopping other than the natural viruses. Or I mean the man-made viruses that you could just stop doing. Mm-hmm. Just stop making viruses.
Literally.
Fucking idiots. Number 4, super volcano.
Okay.
Think about a volcano, but think about it being like 1,000 times bigger.
Do we have those?
Yellowstone's a super volcano.
Is it?
Yeah.
And it hasn't erupted in a while.
No, because we know.
Yeah.
We know if that happened.
Of course.
So yeah, basically, the problem with a super volcano, same thing like nuclear war and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're gonna get so much ash into the atmosphere that's gonna block out the sun. Everything's gonna die because no sun, no plants,
Yeah.
no photosynthesis.
I'm sure we monitor that, right?
Yeah, but even if we notice that something's going on and it starts rumbling, like what are we gonna do about it?
Yeah. That's really scary.
Or there could be super volcanoes that we don't even know exist.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Like it could just.
Wait, how do we know they don't exist though?
Well, my point is it could be just bubbling just under the surface where we haven't seen an eruption from it before, and then all of a sudden, the ground rips apart and
Yeah, got it.
millions of tons of lava come flowing out.
Joy.
Yeah. Oh, speak of the devil, nuclear war is number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need to explain that.
Yeah, we're good.
The problem is not just the blast. So the blast and the shockwave is going to kill, depending on where it lands, it's going to kill tons of people instantly within, I don't know how many miles, depends on the size of the weapon. The radiation will start killing people over time as well that are outside that initial blast zone.
Yeah.
But the problem with nuclear war on like a massive scale is that there's going to be so many of these bombs that radiation is going to be spreading everywhere. Plants are going to start dying and getting irradiated. And then if you didn't die from the radiation, from the initial blast, from the contaminated food, that much in terms of that much destruction, fires, this, that, you're going to go back to the same problem. Ash in the atmosphere, it's going to block off the sun. Then we get what we call nuclear winter. And obviously things get cold, everything freezes, nothing survives, and everybody dies.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Oof.
Or
number 2?
chances. The chances of
Oh,
that.
for this one?
Yeah. Chances are estimated at 1 to 2% per year.
Per year.
Per year.
Okay.
1 to 2% that some asshole is going to go crazy and bomb everybody because he wanted to prove he had bigger balls.
Yeah.
Number 2, runaway climate change.
Explain.
Earth overheats, ice melts, seas rise, heat waves kill millions, food and water wars erupt. Almost certain to cause severe suffering, maybe 10 to 20% chance of extinction in the next few centuries.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
Grim.
grim. The only thing that I'm unsure of when it comes to this is I understand Earth's temperature and the changes. I wonder if there's like a limit where it bounces off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when you look at like these like historic ice core samples and they're able to estimate the surface temperature of the Earth. Well, like I wonder if you look very closely at it, I wonder if you see that like every time it hits a certain temperature, that things just, you know, normalize because who knows, maybe more cloudy days, more this, more that, more less of that, less of this, and all of a sudden the Earth just kind of heals itself. Now, is that temperature going to be low enough to where we're still going to survive it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think we're allowing that, though.
I think there's just too many people.
There's too much,
Too many cars, too many machines, too many power plants.
Yeah,
It's like
we're not allowing it to kind of just repair
normalize.
itself,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
but you know, that's the thing is like, what do? You can't just say, well, we got to get rid of half the people. And even if you did, which half?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't pick and choose.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the more we get into technology and industrialization and pollution and, you know, power plants and using, we got to find a more sustainable source of
Absolutely.
energy and resources, really.
Yeah. If we keep going at this rate, it's not.
No, at some point something or another is going to
Yeah,
happen. And
for
something's
sure.
going to give. And even if global warming doesn't cause global warming in every part of the world, which I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to be like the entire Earth is going to fucking, you know,
Implode.
drown in high seas or
Yeah.
burn alive. I think it's going to be localized like stuff that's going to happen. Outside of just global warming, I think the pollution itself is the bigger issue.
Yeah.
Because even if you're able to somehow reduce the temperature of the planet, and again, it's not that high right now. That's the thing. That's a weird thing. Historically, it's been higher.
Yeah.
If you look at old ice core samples from like hundreds of thousands of years ago, it's been higher than this. But the question is even with the temperature, even if the temperature regulates itself, just the amount of pollution we're putting up in the atmosphere is going to kill us from fucking cancer.
Oh, yeah.
We're breathing this shit in all day long.
Every day.
Like, and I'm not talking about, you know, I'm not talking about carbon dioxide. We breathe carbon dioxide. Trees breathe carbon dioxide in. Where you plant enough trees, they'll balance it out. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the chemical pollution that we're putting into the atmosphere, into the water, that we are then consuming as humans.
No, of course.
And unfortunately, as much as, so here's the funny part about that. I'm going to touch on this for really quick before we get into the first one.
Okay.
The crazy part is that we hear, for example, in the United States or in, let's say, Western cultures, most of Europe included, we're the ones worried about pollution. We're worried about climate change. We're worried about the oceans and this and that, right?
Yeah.
But we're not the ones that are polluting this shit. I mean, we are in a sense, but we're the ones that are talking about, we need to clean up the oceans. Well, great. But then we outsource all our manufacturing to countries that don't care and dump everything into the ocean.
We have different policies and standards.
Well,
for
but
that,
it's not just that though. It's my point is we're the ones that are saying that it needs to be regulated, but then we're outsourcing it to unregulated places. And why? So that we can say, well, no, we don't produce this pollution.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
But it's fucking ridiculous. We're the cause of it.
Yeah.
Even though we're not directly producing it, our consumption of those goods is causing that pollution.
Contributing to that. Exactly.
So what the fuck are we doing? Like this whole like
I
dog
don't
and
know
pony
anymore,
show
honestly.
But you know what I mean? Like we have this whole dog and pony show of we're we're clean and we're not
I think it's
polluting
all
the air.
just to
And
save face, honestly.
that's all it is. Because we won't.
Because I can't explain it any other way.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make any other sense.
Yeah.
Like we ship over steel. We ship steel, a fucking heavy material to ship. We ship it to China for them to refine and remelt and then buy it back from them.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to use the resources to recycle that steel. That makes no sense. How about the resources? How about the pollution of you shipping this shit back and forth? How much diesel are you burning on that ocean
Right.
trip? You know, it's like, I don't know. These people are so fucked up. Humans are fucking dumb.
Number one.
Number one. So all that stuff we talked about, all that fun stuff literally culminates into this. Multiple crises at once.
Yeah.
AI, biotech, pandemics, climate, and ecosystem collapse all happen.
At the same time.
Well, probably back to back.
Yeah.
One disaster weakens us, another finishes us. The most realistic of happening chances this century? Any guesses?
Pandemic.
No. The chances of multiple.
Oh, how many percentage? What's the percentages? 5%?
In this century, the chances of multiple disasters that wipe out humanity is 25 to 30%.
That is insane.
We're done for.
That is insane.
We are done for.
That's crazy. I wonder what that percentage was like 50 years ago.
Well, and I wonder how accurate these because I mean, listen,
Right,
ChatGPT is not that
right.
smart. It's just basing it off. It probably read something on Reddit, but I hope it's wrong.
Me too.
But I think realistically, I think the biggest issues in our lifetime, and I'm somebody's gonna come at me. Well, no, climate change is real. You're a climate denier. No, I don't think that is going to be something that's going to happen in our lifetime where we're going to have to worry about it. I think the two things that we're going to have to worry about more than anything is nuclear war or a nuclear disaster and or some kind of a virus.
That's what I'm thinking. Virus.
Especially since we saw this happen once,
Yeah.
and thank God it was a weak.
Yes.
I mean, low
Still
mortality
terrifying.
rate, but God forbid the next one has even 5%, 10% mortality rate. How many millions of people are going to die?
Oof, let's hope we never see that. Honestly,
Well, because here's the other thing too, though, is like you can't just imagine that you have this virus that kills 100 million people or 300 million people or 1 billion people or whatever number you want to throw out there.
yeah,
The problem is that when that many people start dying, people are not gonna. They're not gonna trust their governments. They're not gonna rely on their governments. They're not gonna say,
yeah,
"Oh, well, my government's telling me to stay indoors and they're gonna deliver food." They're not gonna trust that. People
Yeah.
are gonna take to the streets and start fucking looting and killing each
of
other.
course, of course.
And that's the other issue: is society will collapse just because of the fear. So there's that.
Yeah, fear causes a lot more harm than anything else.
Well,
we
it's
haven't
panic.
learned.
It's panic.
We haven't learned how to control that. You know.
Well, I think that's one of the beauties of, unfortunately, that's one of the things that keeps us alive
Yeah.
is that fear and apprehension and making sure that we're not,
Yeah.
playing with bears because we know you see a bear and your instinct is, I shouldn't be
Yeah. Exactly.
touching that thing. But then at the
Most
same
people.
time,
Most people.
most people, except Russians.
They'll have a vodka with them.
Yeah. But then the other part of it is that same fear and apprehension causes panic, which,
Understandable,
yeah.
but again, I don't think we've controlled that. But
Yeah.
hopefully, we'll never get to see any of these.
Hopefully not.
But that's a huge percentage. That's scary.
Those are some big percentages.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I personally don't think that any time in our lifetimes we're going to have to worry about that,
I hope not.
about any of those things.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fun to talk about and speculate, but I don't think nobody go out there and start panicking. We're not telling you the
Right.
world's ending. Everything is fine. Go to work tomorrow.
Go to work tomorrow. Make that money.
Yeah. Pay your car bill. But yeah, it's just some fun shit to talk
Yeah.
about and think about.
Again, thank you all for joining us today. Please like, follow, share. Love
Yeah,
to
if you
hear
haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. If you have any specific topics that you'd like us to discuss, let us know.
And till next time, thank you for watching.
Bye.